Guys, I stopped working 14-hour plus days. I'm only working with 5 clients right now, and I work less than 20 hours a week. Yeah, I'm still able to make $20,000 in monthly personal income while living in Bali because of this one model. Now, I'm going to explain this model, and this has changed the game for me, guys. I don't know who came up with this crazy idea that we need to work 14-hour days, that we can't enjoy life, that we need to work with like 50 clients in order to hit a good amount of money. I work with less clients, yet I've made the most money that I take home, personal profit for myself, because I decided not to do what everyone else is doing, what all the gurus are telling you to do. I decided, hey, that's not for me. And if that sounds like something that you also don't resonate with, I want you to watch this video because this is exactly for you. This is for myself that I wish I would have heard 3 years ago because my bank account would have been bigger. I would have made more impact. I would have been able to take care of my family more if I just focused on a model that wasn't broken. Okay, so let me talk about the moment that really changed my life. Okay, so a few years ago, about two years ago, I had what they call a quarter life crisis. All right, I'm only 25, but at the time I was like 20, 23, 22. And on paper, I had achieved the thing that I wanted the most. Imagine having one goal that you've always wanted to hit, that you knew like, man, if I hit this, like I am the the guy. I am the guy moving forward, right? And I had dropped out of college to hit this goal. I had disappointed my parents. I dropped out of college, disappointed my parents. I was disgraced to the family, but I was still willing to take that burden. I was even willing to sacrifice my early 20s to make this happen. And what was that thing? I had hit 50K a month in my online business. The thing that I had sought after, the thing that the life that I wanted to live. I wanted to be able to travel, have this freedom to work on my own hours, which I was doing, be my own boss, which I was doing. And everything that I had wanted came to fruition. I had achieved what I always had wanted. But something was still terribly wrong. What was wrong? Even though I had made 15K a month and I had followed the steps and I had done what the gurus had told me, I had at the time I was running a chiropractic agency. We were doing Facebook ads for chiropractors. We had 20 clients, 25 clients. It was a disaster. Every client, there was just so much work, so many clients paying us so little. I had such a big team, right? And so even though I made 50K a month in our agency, I was I was barely profiting. I was barely profiting. And it was a huge headache. I was extremely stressed out. And I had incurred way too many risks. I had way too many risks on my plate. And so I had my goal, but it wasn't the way that I planned. And I was working 14-hour days. I was stressed out. I had no freedom. We get into this game for what? For freedom. Freedom to be able to pay for the things that we want to pay for, but also freedom to be able to enjoy life. Guys, we only have one life. If we're spending all of our lives working, we forgot why we were working. We were working so that we can enjoy our life, so you could do the things you want to do. And so I realized, man, I remember laying in bed and just thinking to myself, like, is this it? Like, is this what all the gurus have taught and teached and what I had wanted, and only for me to be stressed out and still not have. I had less than 10K in my bank account. And so I thought I was rich, but in actuality, I knew deep down I wasn't rich, right? And from this state of pain, you know, like this feeling that like you get this pain and then you just you make a decision. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change this. This is no longer gonna happen to me. I am no longer gonna have to go through this again. Right? I remember so many moments in my life where I was just like, wow, I'm fed up with this. I am fed up with this. This, no bueno, not happening again. And so I made a life-changing decision that day. And I remember I was like, hey, screw what everyone else is saying. Screw what the gurus are teaching me, right? I am going to start from scratch. And instead of listening to what everyone else is telling me, I'm going to think of what do I want to build? How do I imagine? I've been doing this business game for 2, 3 years. I've made 50K a month at the age of 23. I'm pretty credible to think about the way that I want to do business. I know how to do business. But how do I want to build my business? And so I wrote down the following. I remember writing down the following. One was work-life balance. I, you know, You have all these guys talking about work-life balance. You don't need work-life balance. But then to me, I knew I wanted work-life balance. I wanted time to enjoy with my family, my friends, with God, right? And so that was one thing that I wanted for myself. I wanted time to enjoy that. The second thing was that I only wanted to work. I didn't want to work with so many freaking clients. I wanted to work with a select few clients, especially when I was first starting out, because I was so stressed out. And I wanted to work with high-level clients. I wanted to work with clients I enjoyed working with, right? I wanted to work with clients I could hang out with, I could be friends with. That was the life that I imagined, and that was the business I imagined. And so I wrote that down. The third thing that I wrote down was that I wanted to profit. I want a high number of profit. I wanted to have my bank account go up and up and up and up every single month without sacrificing client results, right? And so that's what I wrote down. That's what I envisioned for myself in this business. I'm going to talk about three crucial steps that I took to make this change happen, right? So what I told you guys, now have been able to do that, and I'm going to list out the three crucial steps that allow me to do that. So step number one was that I learned and got really good at the skill of acquisition. And the skill of acquisition is just being really good at marketing sales, right? And the the better I get, even to this day, the better I get at sales and marketing, the more I get paid. And I get paid a premium, right? So there's a saying, you get paid in proportion to the problems that you solve, right? So I knew that everybody struggles with appointments, everybody struggles with sales, right? And so I knew that if I could just get really good at understanding marketing sales, it doesn't have to take long, guys. It's actually very surprising. Most people just don't take enough time to learn the right skills, to learn from the right people. But if you can just do that, and you can sit down, you can learn from somebody like me, you can learn from somebody that really understands sales and marketing, you'll be ahead of most people. And since I have already grown an agency to 50K a month, we did that all with outbound prospecting. I knew I had skills that other people could benefit from. And so instead of trying to go to chiropractors I didn't enjoy working with, I decided to go after a market that I did enjoy working with, that I knew very well, which is my people, agency owners. And so I targeted agency owners, coaches, and consultants. That was my niche. And I helped them with appointment sales. I brought what I was really good at, and I honed in on my own skills, and I worked with an audience I enjoyed working with. And soon enough, the market knew that I was knowledgeable, and they started paying me a premium. No problem. They had no problem paying me a premium, right? And so that's when my my income started to change, right? The people that I was working with, my fulfillment in work started to change. And so I was moving closer to the business I imagined. Step number two is I became what I call now a growth creator. A growth creator. Now, what is a growth creator? You have the old agency model, right, where you're working with 20 plus clients. You're trying to just sell, 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 right? It's a high churn business. You're always constantly having to sell. You're always having to go in and out with new clients. But I instead decided that I'm only going to partner with clients I want to partner with that are key clients. What do I mean by key clients? Clients that are making a lot of money, right? That have a bigger problem because they're making a lot of money. There's more risk at hand, right? And I worked with them, only them. And they just so happen to be seven-figure clients, right? They were all running seven-figure agencies. And I decided to focus on those clients and get them the best results, right? And you can either get paid a percentage, right? Some clients were paying a percentage, some just a flat fee, some on performance. But I started to increase the amount that they were paying me. And so instead of working with like 20 clients that were paying me 1,000, I decided to work with only 4 or 5 clients that were paying me 4 to 5 thousand, right? And I had a client pay me 7,000 a month. And so I was able to increase the amount of clients or the amount that my clients were paying me and then decrease the number of clients so I can get rid of all the inefficiencies working with a lot of clients. And I can just work with a few clients, cut down the communication and get better results. And so instead of going wide, I went deep, right? And this led to better client results and less moving parts, which less headaches. All right, so that's step number two. Step number three is I built off of profit, which means I maximized. I knew that, man, you can make 50K a month. You can make 50K a month, right? And I'm sure there's guys out there that are making 100K a month. But that doesn't matter if that's not actually going into your bank. If you have to pay, if you make 100K, guess what? And you have 90K in expenses or 80K in expenses, or let's say you're even doing like 60K in expenses, and you profit 40 grand, but you're working like crazy amount of hours. then the dollar amount per hour that you're putting in isn't as high, right? And so I wanted to maximize on my dollar amount per hour and profit. And I wanted to make sure that my bank account was going up, right? And since I was getting paid $5,000 to $10,000 per client every month without having a team, I didn't have a team. This is all solo dolo. Caleb was running the show. And so I didn't have to manage people. I didn't have to communicate with people. I only had to communicate with 4 to 5 clients. And they were paying me a really good amount per month, recurring every single month. Guess what? The amount that I was making was going straight to my bank account and nothing was coming out. Maybe like a few software costs on my end that I wanted to cover, but the clients covered this software, the expenses, and I just, when they paid me, I kept all of it. None of it went out, right? So it was going straight into my pocket. And I was in the agency game for 3 years, and no one had taught me to maximize client deals where you're just taking in all the profit, and that there was a model where you could just take all the profit. And if you choose not to have a team member, you don't have to. You can make good money recurring and still be your own boss. And I had felt like I had cracked the code, but I realized these 3 steps are the steps that I took. I just got really good at that one skill so that I can get paid a premium, right? I started to focus on the growth creator model where I just partner with a few select clients that can see my value and can pay me what I'm worth. So I don't have to keep chasing clients. I can get them better results. And then step number 3, I can use that model to then get paid well and profit well so that my bank account can go up. And then from here, now I can do whatever I want. I can build a business that I want, but I have cash flow and I've built a model that allows me to make the most amount of money without having to sacrifice and work crazy amount of hours. And most importantly, I was getting profit, which is the most important thing that I look back and this model has created for me. All right, so if you guys want to learn more about being a growth creator, again, there's a free group. Just DM me, shoot me a DM, and I'll send you guys that group. But I'm going to show you guys how you can be a growth creator yourself, how you can learn the skills to be a growth creator. If you're in appointments, if you're appointments that are a closer, or even if you're an existing agency owner and you just want to get really good at this skill so that you can get paid a premium, I'll show you how you can build the skills or take the skills that you have right now and be able to sign on your first few uh, growth partner deals. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, hope this was valuable. All right, reimagine the way that you want to do business, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.